Hi, my name is Debbie, and I'm here as your yoga instructor today. So let's begin. And I kind of like to start out a class with a thought for the day. And so let's start with this one. Relaxation is the process of observing your tension. So we're going to take a few minutes, find a quiet place. We're going to sit comfortably in our chair with our feet on the ground, or if they're not touching on a block or a box or a book, something that's firm. And then we're going to close our eyes and just see where we're tense. And that focus on your tension is sometimes enough to make it go away. So as we're sitting here with our eyes closed, I'm going to offer some places to look for your tension. And it might be in your jaw. We carry a lot of our tension just there. So as we sit here, let's open our mouths wide. Oh, maybe we're going to yawn. And then just kind of move our jaw back and forth, working out some of that tension. And the next place we might find tension is in that trapezius muscle, that really big muscle across your shoulders. So let's see if just bringing our shoulders up around our ears, kind of pressing our head down and our shoulders up, and then drop. Let that tension go. One more. Reach those shoulders up, squeeze that neck down, just really tight, and then let go. And see if that makes those shoulders just a little bit less tense. And I'm sure there's other places that you might have tension. So as you're sitting here, just explore, see if you feel anything that's a little tight. And in the meantime, we're going to distract our mind by giving it a job. It's going to be kind of observing your breath. So let's try a little bit of that together too. As your eyes are closed and you take a breath in, perhaps you notice that it's a little cooler than the air around you. And maybe you can follow that breath in and feel that cool air on the back of your throat. And maybe you can feel that air passing through your throat and lifting your chest. And maybe on the way back out, you can feel that breath again, but this time it's had a chance to warm up. That's not the only thing that you could notice about your breath, but it's an example. And then use those distractions to keep away what's happening outside around you. Use that focus on your breath to explore how you're feeling and what's tight and what needs to move. And then lift your head if you've bowed it, open your eyes, and we're going to complete and continue with that class that we started a little while ago. And for the most part, we were in our upper body, and we ended up with some twists. So let's, beginning there, let's bring our hands out into cactus arms, and we're going to just bring our arms around as far in front as they can. Try not to move your chest, your torso. And then we're going to come back around on this side. Just bringing both arms staying level and about chest high. And they're just moving. We're twisting And maybe we get a little faster. Maybe we slow down a bit. Finding that flexibility through our arms. And from here, let's add and see if we can bring our chest with us this time. So instead of just moving our arms, we're going to move our entire torso and look first to the right. Exhale as you come back around. Inhale over to the left. Back down. Reaching first for one side and then the other. Bringing some movement into our back. And if your turns aren't as big as mine, don't worry about it. It's all about your range of motion. And those arms are getting heavy, so let's bring them back down. And we're going to wrap our hands around our knees and kind of move to the front of your chair. Not so far that you're going to slide off, but far enough that you've got some room. And we're going to do cat-cow. So using your breath again, as you inhale and pull yourself forward, you're going to look up. As you exhale, let your arms get long, let your back arch toward the back of your chair, and your bottom kind of scoops forward. So maybe you can feel your sitting bones as you come forward over them on the inhale, and maybe you can feel them moving underneath you as you arch back. And let's just try a couple more. Inhaling to look up, exhaling to look down, to arch your back. Inhaling and exhaling. And then come back to neutral right here. And let's see if we can move our torso just a little bit to the right and a little bit to the left. Just back and forth, some sideways motion. So maybe you push your torso to one side and then you push it back. Or maybe you can just do it a little bit, just small movements, back and forth, back and forth. Now we're going to make those movements a little bigger and we're going to bring that hip up. So pushing over and down with this hip, we let the other one lift, and then we rock back and bring the other hip up. So hip, 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 just back and forth, rocking back and forth. This is one of my favorites. I'm going to open our knees just a little wider. Our hands are on our knees, and we're going to stir the pot. So as you bend this elbow and lean out over your left knee, bring your torso between your arms over to the right, and then roll around and come back. We're stirring the pot, relaxing that back, straightening it long. Reach, reach, tuck that bottom under, move to around. And now let's go the other way. So let's go back, slide that bottom forward, out over the right leg, over, just stirring the pot. And maybe you can get some of that movement, not just as you're rolling from one side to the other, but maybe a little bit of extra movement as you come around the back. And we're back to center. Our legs together. And let's try just a few. My pants and my seat are a little bit slippery here. So I'm bringing my seat a little further forward in the chair so I've got a little bit more control. Sitting up here on the edge. And I'm going to bring this leg over just a little bit. I'm going to let this leg straighten. Reach down and touch as far as I can. This is your brace to kind of anchor you to the chair. And just let that arm slide down however far you want to go. Now, I'm probably moving more than you are, but then I've had the advantage of taking yoga for a very long time. So there were just back and forth, reaching down and coming back. And then we'll switch sides. This becomes our steady leg. This is our brace holding us in our seat. This is just reaching out and coming back. Reaching out and coming back. Exhaling to go out. Inhaling back up. Find some movement in those hips, in that low spine. Just reaching, stretching, coming back. And then we're back together. And let's just heel and toe. Heel up, toe up. And maybe you need to move your feet a little further out in front of you. Heel up, toe up, heel and toe, and heel and toe, heel and toe. And then look down at those toes and see if you can open them. See if you can separate those toes. And mine will open. And I can see, in this case, a little bit of wood. Bring them back so you can see them too. So they're opening. And if you can, press down into the big toe. And then press down into the outside edge. Press down to the inner edge. Down to the outer edge. Now let's see if we can do it without moving our knees so big. They'll have to move some. To the outside, to the inside. Outside, inside. Maybe we can just rock them back and forth. Maybe you lift those toes up even higher. Back and forth. And if we were dancing, we'd be doing the shuffle. Okay. And then let's come back, sitting tall in our chair. Reaching down, see if you can find your sitting bones. And if you can't feel them, maybe you just move some of that buttock flesh away. See if you can find them. If you can find them, see if you can sit right on top of it and lift up all the way from down here in your low belly, up tall. You're lifting through your back and you're reaching to that place right above your head. So it's like you're trying to come up and reach my hand. And then you're also lifting this front part of your body and lifting it up until your chest is up and high and raised. Find it's a very active seat. Your bottom had to really, those glutes kind of clench to get you up that tall. So make them work. Just clench them again. Lift up tall, 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 tall. And then let go. And then we'll go into what I'm going to call Shavasana, the end of the class, that time when your body kind of creates a kinetic memory, a movement memory for what we've done today. And as you breathe in and as you breathe out, let your mind calm, let it, your breath relax, let your body do the breathing. You don't have to make any effort. It'll take care of itself. And let your mind just, let's see if we can find a thought, a grateful thought, something that we are grateful for today. And breathing in, breathing out. Bring your hands to heart center, resting your thumbs against your sternum. Let your fingers reach just a little bit forward. If your shoulders lifted up around your ears while you were doing that, pull it back down. Allow me to thank you for the opportunity to lead your class. It has been my honor and my pleasure.